right, guys. I'm in my PJs, but we're here. Sorry for the wait. I lost track of time a bit, but we're here now. Good to see everybody. Don't let them dull your sparkle. What's up? Rainbow, of course. Good to see you. Capable Planet, Will, what's up? Hassan, I know you're here. What's good, guys? Already 15 of us here. Love that for us. And yeah, we got lots of stuff to do today, I guess. I don't really know what we're going to talk about. What's up, Hassan? Good to see you. You're the first one here, as always. Jao DiCarvalho, what's up? A-Star, what's good? Thor is here, games. Karmic, hi, it's Jamie, and I wrote a song for you like I promised. Yo, what's up, Karmic? Thanks, Jamie. All right, Willie, you got to eat. Pavel, what's good? I'm glad to see you guys. All right, here we go. Now we're back. I don't know why I decided to do that. Sorry about that technical difficulty. I was trying to grab the hat painting that we did last time. As you know, we were doing that, and I'm not even wearing pants, so you guys are going to see me in my complete PJs. It's kind of weird. So I was going to work on this flower thing. I put spackle on it to give it a nice texture, but I haven't started on it because I worked 8 hours today and I kind of went home early because it's too much for me to work 8 hours. So spackle. But yeah, sorry about that technical difficulty. I don't know what that was for. Anyway, my job, I got a bad review from a customer today, but my supervisor was very understanding, and I let her know that, look, I have chronic fatigue, and if you're going to put me on an 8-hour shift, then my work performance is going to slip. And when she started complaining, it was like at hour 7, and she said, okay, thanks for letting me know. I'll put that in the schedule. Because I'm part-time either way, but I let her know that I really can't work more than 6 hours in a row before I start fatiguing, and it affects my work performance. So she was really understanding. She was like, what can we do to accommodate you? Normally you're really great. And then I said, the reason that this happened was just because I was getting really tired and my meds wear off after like 6 hours. So, and then she kind of said that I was supposed to disclose disability. I had that discussion where they sat me down. They're like, look, we've noticed that you're capable, but you're not always capable. And we think that you should have disclosed that you had a disability from the very beginning. And I didn't say that, well, the reason I don't do that is because I don't want to get discriminated against. But normally that is why I don't do it until it's a crisis. Because, yeah, so there you go. And the customer said that I was just kind of rude and nonverbal. And that kind of happens after a while. Typically after like 2 o'clock, I'm toasted if I woke up at 6. So she took it to heart, and she said that we can just schedule me for shorter shifts more frequently. Because she understands that normally I do pretty well. And she seemed to understand that because this was my first 8-hour shift, and this was the first time I've had a customer complain. So I'm like, well, that's kind of wise because I have chronic fatigue and chronic pain. And normally I can power through with my meds, but my meds only last like 6 hours, and that's when they started to wear off. And then after they started wearing off, I couldn't stay focused. It's like over. And also I lost an hour of sleep last night. And I think that affected me because I went to bed at midnight and then woke up at 6. And that was probably got 5 hours of sleep on top of that. So that was just irresponsible. But I wasn't used to waking up that early. And I'm very lucky that my supervisor is willing to accommodate me because not everybody is willing to do that. But oh my God, I was so scared walking up there. They're like, yeah, come upstairs. And they're like, yeah, you got a customer complaint. I'm like, oh my gosh. I almost started crying, but I held it together and managed to advocate for myself. So what else can you do? What's up, Khalil? Yeah, explain my case. Pavel, my customer. Oh, I already answered that question. My customer basically said that I didn't really do the routine that I was supposed to do. And she actually worked at Kroger. So she was like another supervisor from a different department who was buying her lunch. So luckily, it wasn't like a real customer, it was someone that worked there. And they were like, if I was a secret shopper, she would have failed the test. So anyway, we don't want to set Shelby up for failure. My mom was concerned about me working an 8-hour shift today as well. She's like, I don't think you can handle it. I'm like, I'm going to prove to you that I can. You won't know until I try. And then it turns out I can't really do it. Ideally, I'd like to work like 5 hours a day, maybe 4 days a week, do 20 hours a week. Or maybe 5 hours a day, 5 days a week sometimes. But I could work like 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 1 day off. That would probably be working for me. Maybe I can tell her about that to see if that would help. I can't do full time at a physical standing up or any kind of job because my meds don't last that long and I just can't stay focused for that long. I have decline in work performance after 30 hours. And even 30 hours is a lot. I would say 25 hours is like the most I could probably handle. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. I have to be realistic about my limitations as someone with a disability. So anyways, that's what happened today. It was a little bit of a crisis, but I think I handled it better than I would have normally. I didn't freak out completely, thankfully. But anyway, I'm thinking about other things that I could do for like a job certification that would allow me to work part-time but still make, more than 15 an hour. You know what I mean? I used to have social anxiety. Oh, cool, don't. That's good. There's been a couple cases where I've almost lost my temper on stuff, Pavel, but I try to remain cool. And the biggest thing is that I just can't be there for that long. I handled a conflict at work. I handled a negative review at work. And I'm doing my online modules because we have to do this online thing continuously where it's basically the same boarding modules that we did, but we have to like revisit them every single day. Like we do like one boarding module a day. It's really stupid. But thankfully my supervisor was an advocate and not an op. I'm doing better. Strangely, I started my period today, which is funny. And I'm like, that did not help my attitude today. So combine that with an 8-hour shift, lack of sleep, and my period. I was not doing great. So I left early. She let me go early by like 30 minutes. I know it's like TMI, but you guys know that my cycle really fucks with my cognition. It makes it very difficult to concentrate. It basically like cancels out my meds. And I've been looking into other options for how to deal with PMDD. And I think I might have found one, but it's expensive and I would have to go to Mexico. It's basically like you do off-label hormone replacement therapy, bioidentical. And as your estrogen starts to dip, you use estrogen cream and progesterone cream to like supplement it. But you only do it like when you're PMSing or whatever. You have PMD2, Rainbow, we're twins. You and me, Rainbow, have been through the same shit. It's crazy work. Minus you having the abusive husband that you went through. And both of your parents being dead. Only one of my parents is dead. Rainbow, I feel for you so much, sis. I really do. And I can't wait to play Pokemon with you. But here's the thing. Pokemon Fire Red just came out on the Switch, right? And I really want to play it, but I want to do like a shiny hunt. I get it, Rainbow. I so feel for you, girl. So, Rainbow, can you just remind me of like your entire situation and like bullet points for a second so I can have everything organized in my head? I want to make sure I'm assigning the right situation to you because I know everybody's basically shared their situation, but I just wanted to review it. Mine doesn't hurt physically. It just fatigues me and makes it very difficult to stay focused and work to the point where I feel like I have to lay down. What's up, Trip? And it's so annoying because gynecological issues and mental health issues are just, you get gaslit to like Hades and back. And it's so crazy because I've been medically violated in every orifice trying to fix this. I've had transvaginal ultrasounds, hand to God, not recommending it. Like I've been like plunged up in every hole by modern medicine, okay? My mom even said, she was like, I think they essayed you with that catheter. And I'm like, they did. It wasn't fun. I completely dissociated when they were trying to put a catheter in me when I was totally dehydrated. CFS. What is CFS? Is that chronic fatigue syndrome? And your husband abandoned you. So you know what it's like to be medically violated. I think my cherry literally got popped by a transvaginal ultrasound. I'm not even kidding, Rainbow. I literally got my hymen broke during a medical evaluation because of all my medical shit. Maybe that's why I didn't bond with the first guy, because I was already trauma bonded to my gynecologist. I was so pissed off too, because I'm like, I think something tore. Is that regular? But I didn't even question it. It just hurt really bad, and I kind of spotted for like 3 days. So TMI, right? I feel like that's a common experience, though. People don't talk about it. Fibromyalgia is really tough. Painting will cure my depression. I can only hope so. Because when I had sex with that guy, it was painful, but like I don't think he popped anything. Because I was like, how could there be anything left if there's been calipers up there, there's been ultrasound plungers, there's been a fist, not even for fun, just because of my medical shit. I'm like, I don't think there's anything to take, bro. But you were too late. I'm like, I didn't even get to lose it fun style. Word. I've had issues with periods and stuff since I was 11, PCOS and PMDD and my bowel issues. These doctor's appointments. Oh my God. I feel like I have medical PTSD. But it's not even something I have access to because it was so horrible I dissociated. My purpose on earth is to paint. I hope so. Like I said, this is my next painting that's coming up. It's a small one. And I was going to do, this is spackle on the back that you use to fill holes in walls. But I decided to buy a bucket of it because I was like, that looks so fun to paint with. So I put some spackle on this wood panel. This is basswood, plywood. It's typically used for laser cutting, but I'm going to use it to paint on because it was cheaper than canvas. So in case you missed it, I had a reprimand at work today. I got to work on that. I hope I keep my job. I don't know. Gesto can do the same, true, but I felt like spackle would be more fun. But it was a lot more messy. I also gestoed over the spackle, by the way. I'm running out of things to show you guys. I'm going to grab an old sketchbook. 1 second. I don't know if I showed you guys this one. I still feel like I need to do a little bit of work on the flowers because they're just not to the same level of finish, and maybe do some glazing. Because the thing is like the hummingbird and the flowers are like at the same level of finish and at the same level of like intensity. So I was going to knock back the flowers a little bit with some glaze to make it a little bit less upfront. There's just something a little bit kitschy about this drawing. I feel like it's a little bit like tacky in a way, but I'm not really sure why. And I feel like the same thing about the peacock. It's a little bit tacky. I would have to agree that the peacock is a little bit kitsch, a little bit tacky, but I've been going through this tacky phase where I like tacky stuff. And I feel like other people like it as well, but not everybody does. It's probably not really like a gallery piece. Not that I've ever been in a gallery, but it's probably more like something that your aunt would buy at a swap meet. That's kind of what it's intended for, though. Here's an old one. So what did you guys think of the hummingbird? It does have a lot of texture on it. I feel like I can't really inspire disabled people because I'm not that disabled anymore. I was really disabled for a long time to the point where I wanted to end my life. No offense. Like I thought that I could take a trip to Switzerland and have them euthanize me if my condition didn't get better. I know that's really disgusting. Please don't think that I would ever do it. The whole thing, I had planned it out in my head. I was going to wait until I was 35. This was when I was 19. I'm like, if my condition has deteriorated by the time I'm 35, I don't want to linger. I'm just going to go to Switzerland and see if I can get them to get me to go through an elective unaliving through a doctor so that my parents would be prepared and they wouldn't feel guilty. But luckily things did get better, which is so terrible because you guys know I was on a dilaudid PCA for like a long enough time to where I had withdrawals. They had me on a dilaudid patch. I was so messed up on opiates. I thought cats were peeing on me and that my blood, I thought that they were stabbing me. I was like paranoid delusional on that stuff. It was crazy. You should ask my mom about it or don't. I'm getting a little too personal. Sad truth about art, it usually only becomes worth money when the artist passes on. Unless a surly barber, usually that's true. But I think that there is some sort of thing where you can make interior design art, commercial wall art that sells now. But that art isn't going to stand the test of time. But that's also the art that I've been making. So it's like it's of the times. It looks great on your mom's wall. You'd probably buy it for her for Christmas. But is it going to be remembered in 1,000 years? Probably not. But the thing about it is the art that's remembered in 1,000 years doesn't get to see the light of day during its creation. Dilaudid is like legal heroin, Pavel, prescription. It's actually like legal fentanyl, I'm pretty sure. It wasn't all right. Here we go. But yeah, I got through the opiate withdrawals. They had to taper me off, and I felt like I had the flu from hell. I was shivering and vomiting and diarrheaing everywhere for like 6 weeks. And then my psychiatrist decided that I didn't need to be on Xanax anymore. So then he started to taper me off of that. So then I went through benzo withdrawals. which was what led to my first psychiatric hospitalization, was the benzo withdrawals. That's really what put it over the edge. Some seashells. These are really old drawings. Because I don't think in my right mind I would ever unalive myself, but like the combination of going through those prescription drug withdrawals, which by the way, I was never addicted to them. I was physically dependent on them, which is completely different than being an addict. I've never craved them. I've never bought them off the street. I've never wanted to use them again since I got off, but I could not get off of them without supervised detox. Yeah. So that was hilarious. But luckily that happened before I was 26, so I didn't have to pay for it. What's up, guys? Significant brain damage from antipsychotics. Yo, sis. I relate to that 100%. When I was on Paxil, now this is hilarious. I was on like Gen 1 Paxil for a while and Effexor. And I swear to God, that shit, I feel like they MK Ultra'd me, dude. I feel like they were just testing drugs on me. And they're like, yeah, what's your response to it? Oh, you're worse. Oh yeah, we're just going to adjust your meds and just swap them. And then I got so messed up on that. I thought I was schizophrenic at one point when I was coming off of that stuff. But anyway, I'm ruined at this point. My brain chemistry is ruined. It's destroyed. So I have to be on meds forever now, but I'm on some that doesn't seem to interrupt. I mean, I have anhedonia because of the mood stabilizer, but if I'm not on it, then I fly into rages. So what are we going to do? I had sushi for dinner. I'm 33 days into quitting smoking after 36-year habit. Wow. Plus, I have severe hypertension, which is making the dentist not want to pull some bad teeth. Yo, Surly Barber, 33 days is crazy after a 36-year habit? How'd you do that? Smoking what, by the way? Rainbow, I feel like we're just soul kin. Like, we have parallel lives. However we attracted this of ourselves, I don't know. This is interesting. This is like This is like a forest, 2 different forests. You probably can't tell. This is like a really abstract tree, alien tree. This was back when I was doing like thumbnail master studies. But yeah, anybody that's quitting drugs, I quit nicotine sort of for like 3 weeks straight since February 14th. But then I broke it. But I feel like I'm less hooked on it now. But they say that your addiction is doing push-ups in the parking lot. So like the level of addiction that you have when you quit is the level of addiction that you have when you come back. So the tolerance never goes back down to complete zero. It never goes down to absolute zero because you've damaged your brain. That's the hard truth. That's the problem with taking, like, if you're prescribed controlled substances like Adderall or Xanax, the truth of the matter is that you become dependent on them, and then it just becomes a baseline. It's really bad. And that's kind of why I think that I like this one. This is like a sunset of a city road, and this is like a sunset of a forest. No smoke, no drink. Pizza is my addiction. That's good. Oh, God, I brought my, do I have any wild mental institution stories? I met some characters in there. Wellbutrin made me paranoid schizophrenic. I tried a Jow. I don't know if it was just too much, but the same thing happened when I was on Ritalin, which is a similar class of drug. It's a dopamine reuptake inhibitor, and it wired me to the point where I just couldn't, I was paranoid. I didn't like it at all. And it sucks because I had heard so many good things about it. But you know what's worked for me is low-dose naltrexone. Like 3 milligrams of low-dose naltrexone has helped with all of my issues. What's up, Catherine? If I get my Detroit apartment, I will be going through Georgia on a bus. I'd like to stop by. Oh, okay. I hope you do get your Detroit apartment. We could totally schedule a meetup if anybody is in Georgia, because I know that you guys are real people, especially here on the chat. Probably not anybody from the comments or from my DMs, but everybody that's a regular here. If you ever roll through ATL, we could grab coffee or something. Unless an addict can go like 5 months without it. Surly Barber is dependent on Seroquel for sleep without that damn pill. Shoot. Don't go back to liquor. Seroquel actually works on GABA. Did you know that? I think it reuptakes GABA, which is the same receptor that booze works on. So you're targeting the same receptor that you damage with alcohol. I'm on the waiting list for disabled apartments in Detroit. I'm hoping I get one before hurricane season. Oh, I hope so too. Wait, Rainbow, do you have any pets? I forget. Microdosing mushrooms and grass is as far as I go. Okay. I try to avoid that as well. I've tried it though. I've done LSD and I've done mushrooms, but like just curiously in college, and I didn't go back to it. Mostly because I'm scared to buy it. 2 emotional support cats, good. Gabapentin really works well for me with my chronic pain. But it makes my short-term memory, like it destroys it. So I feel like if it lowers my tolerance for my baseline pain too much or my baseline discomfort and anxiety too much, I'll be dependent on it. And I have a tolerable level of pain that I can handle. I don't want to just depend on drugs to make my life a little cushier, because then I can't remember anything. Raymond said he wanted to make amends, and then he starts talking shit. So make it make sense, Raymond. I thought you reached the step where you made amends. Raymond says he's in recovery, long-term recovery for alcohol addiction. Speaking of addicts, we have Raymond who quit drinking, but who has not quit the dysfunctional behavior of addiction. So he's basically just a sober drunk. Set it, sent it, clock it, and commit it. So speaking of pap smears, I'm due for one. I got to get my IUD looked at too. I got to get my pap smear, yeah. I've been due for one for like a while. So Rainbow, so gabapentin in combination, especially with antipsychotics and SSRIs, like that triple trifecta, I don't want to scare you, but yeah, it can really fuck up your short-term memory. You can look it up. I didn't make it up, I promise. But it's like, what do? I can't remember things when I'm in pain anyway, so. Laranja, of course, OMG, it is me. It's the real deal. One of my coworkers asked for my number today, so I made a friend. Can you understand how regular people need their group separate from these organic brain problem people? Zen, I don't try to trifle. Like I try not to make my chronic issues part of my personality when I'm meeting people that are regular. It just comes up naturally because people are like, why are you this way? What is going on? Are you okay? And then when that question arises, then I have to give them the spiel. But it's like, I don't want my whole life to revolve around this, but it kind of does, whether I want it to or not. I take hydroxyzine. Oh, you know what, Rainbow? I don't mean to scare you, and I'm not a doctor, but high blood pressure medicine also affects your short-term memory. So you're on a lot of stuff that affects executive functions too. So you can't even blame yourself for that. It's medicine side effects. I'm glad she asked for my number. When do you plan to play Pokemon, by the way? Twitch stream? Maybe. I kind of want to do multi-Twitch soft resetting, but I don't have the money to do that setup. Shelby, I've been listening to this entire conversation. It's important to have. I understand you a lot more when you bring this stuff up. Thanks, Willie. Willie, I know that you said you might be on epilepsy medicine. Is that something we can talk about? What's your experience been with that? Because I feel like that's kind of similar to like what I'm on for my mood stuff, and it really causes anhedonia, and it has a lot of negative symptoms like just not having motivation to eat. But hey, at least your brain's not attacking itself or whatever. Well, we don't have to talk about it. That's personal. I don't want to put you on the spot like that. Sorry, that's probably inappropriate. Shelby, this is kind of our spot where we can talk about socially unhinged things. Like, I can't bring this up with people in life, you know? I can't like just vent about this at work because I wanted to tell her, but then I'm like, it's probably more professional for me to just get a legit doctor's note to ask for accommodation because she's already given me an accommodation already, but like, I probably need to go and do that. No, single dad, the roommate or the renter. My parents' house is a duplex. It has one, two, three, four bedroom in the main section, and then an apartment attached to it. Like it's an ADU. It's an auxiliary dwelling unit, but it's attached to the main house. So he has a bathroom. It's like a one bedroom apartment with a bath. My roommate is like a 57-year-old man who's probably gay. I don't know, but we wonder. Is it a Chad? No, I'm not dating a Chad. I'm not talking to a Chad right now. I've never even met a Chad in my life. Chads don't go for me. I don't even know what I would do if a hot guy even talked to me. Usually what happens is like they see if the hot guy does talk to me, it's because he's identified me as the R word girl in the group who can't fit in, and if he's trying to talk to me, it's usually to make himself look good for talking to the disabled weird girl in front of his actual person that he wants to talk to. So I'm being tokenized by hot people, by hot men. They usually tokenize me. I always like if a guy is interested in me, he's like, no, like people will be like, are you interested in so and so? I'm like, no, he's out of my league. And then if they ask, are you interested in Shelby? He'd be like, no, I respect her too much to do that to her. I respect her too much for that, or something, you know, friend zoning like that. I do see yourself streaming Pokemon. Having to go to professional people makes you feel alone. I know, and you know the stigma is really bad. I really resisted it for a long time. I'm your favorite Doom poster, and I mean it because I was thinking about making Doom posting content myself, but your videos say exactly what I want to say. Laranja, you should make it. I didn't get any engagement for 2 months straight, and I was being very consistent. I was posting every other day, but I was also unemployed, so keep that in mind. I had like endless time to write. No, my new roommate is not a degenerate. He meets the income standard for the apartment, so he has more money than I do. He makes like $4,000 a month apparently, because at least to make the rent. Chad is a Korean psyop to sell K-pop albums. Okay. Interesting, Laranja. I'm making the mistake of continuing to work in a stressful environment. I don't have issues with coworkers. The job itself is fast-paced and demanding. Oh, a surly barber. Yeah. If you're getting too old for it, don't burn yourself out. Do I have a Switch? I do have a Switch. They did re-release Pokemon Fire Red. And you know the funniest thing about it, Darsh, is I was thinking about getting an authentic copy and doing the same thing that I would be doing on the Switch, which would be soft resetting for shinies and trying to get a living shiny dex. So anyway. Dyslexia is a disability, yes. I don't even know if I have dyscalculia, but I can't keep numbers straight in my head, and I've had to take math classes over 3 times during summer school. I remember Christina Grimmie. She was a real OG on YouTube, and it's just tragic what happened. If you have a crash out, would your roommate hear you? That's what my parents are concerned about. That's what they're really concerned about. That's really why they say I can't express my feelings in the house, is because we share a wall. But I hear him, so I know he would hear me if I had a crash out. Am I planning a move out? I don't know. I don't really have any skills. I was thinking about getting a dog trainer certification, but I don't have a dog. Sure, Willie, if you want to talk. I haven't been really active. I mean, I've been on Instagram, but I haven't been talking to people. So we haven't really talked in a while, Willie. So sure. Remember late 90s? You were born in 91. I was born in 93. I barely remember 9/11. I feel like that was my first core memory. Had Sapphire as a kid. Raymond said on his stream that he touches himself at the kitchen table. Dude, why? It's not even disabled. I'm just tired of society. Yeah. But like for those of you that are thinking making your own doomer content, everybody has a different flavor of what they bring to the table. I feel like I've gotten shit from people for copying other people's videos, which sometimes I have done that. I'm not going to lie. Like sometimes I do phone it in and I see something doing well and I make my version of that video with a very similar title. But those normally are not the videos that go over 10K. The videos that go over 10K, I can't force them to happen. They just come out of me naturally, unscripted, and they're kind of rare, which is why they're so good. I really think my story would be unique, and then I could put some inspiration in it too. What if you use like a PNG tuber, Rainbow? Or a mask? I'm gonna dox my secret identity. This is gonna be my mask for my art channel. I know I would relate to a Rainbow. But just to give you an idea, like the only people that have discovered my channel are just like people that I sort of know in real life, but it hasn't really affected anything other than that. I don't think my channel is going to get much bigger than this unless I do a complete brand overhaul. And I would have to really invest in maybe like a content strategy coach. And I would have to figure out how to learn how to edit. And I would have to really up the production quality. And it would be a learning curve for me because I'm like, when would I squeeze that in to learn that? Either that or have to pay somebody to edit my videos. You know, so to go to from 20K is pretty much the cap that I've reached with this type of content. Everything else, like 20K is the most the algorithm is going to reward me for this level of content. And this is a really good amount of people that I have here. And the people that are here, I really appreciate you. And I love this size of my channel. I don't think I could handle a 100,000 sub channel. It's a completely different mindset. Like I've done this organically simply by showing up as myself, but to make it to 100K, I would have to do something completely different. And I don't even know what that would be. So I would have to invest in like a content coach. My roommate scared me with that drone though. I thought it was a giant bug coming to kill me. I've never gone ghost hunting. Georgia is such a cool place. You just need a better camera. This webcam I got for like $100, so probably. I started my channel with my face. Everybody subscribe to Thor. It is intimidating because people will come after your appearance and they will just rip you apart. I've been called a sub 5. I've been called ugly, hideous, unattractive. And I'm not going to lie, like during my low days, when I have no other feedback coming in, that really gets to me. It hurts, especially because these people are like people that I wanted to be in community with and they're making videos about it, you know? So it's vicious. People will just leverage you for views. It's so crazy. And I'm so glad it's happening on like a lower scale level. And it's not like I shot up like Mr. Beast to a point where I wouldn't be able to handle that level of fame. Shelby, you could pay me to edit your videos. Oh, Willie, are you good at editing? I didn't know you could edit it like that. Content coaches. Yeah, there's coaches for everything. Like content people that would help you like scale your YouTube channel. Yeah, they exist. Any fart sounds at night from your new roommate? I can't tell you. We share a wall, not a room. How do people do the thing where they have like a cartoon character that moves in the motion? Oh, that's a PNG tuber or a VTuber, Rainbow. And you can buy pre-made VTubers or PNG tubers on Etsy. And it's pretty easy to set up. The software is like really quick and free and easy to download and use. You just have to install the software, and then you basically watch a tutorial on how to like basically use OBS, and then you take the VTuber and then you put it as a window in OBS, and then it automatically syncs up to you when you talk. It's pretty cool. I know there are billions of opinions blasted across YouTube. I never knew about content coaches. There's an entire side of YouTube, Hassan, all built towards building your YouTube channel. I didn't really get too much into it because I'm like, this doesn't really apply to me because I'm not even really making legit content. And that's why it's working, because it's not overproduced. But at the same time, it has its reach limit. I've reached the limit with YouTube has capped me at 20K. Everything that I've gotten after this has been basically organic reach, which is real views, and I appreciate it. But for YouTube to pick me back up again, I would have to be on top of a wave again, and I would have to somehow bring more to my channel. I don't really know how I would do that. Okay, Willie, do you have a demo reel, Willie, of stuff you've edited? People online are savage sometimes. I personally enjoy the authenticity so far. It's a personal goal of mine. Thank you. Punk, thank you. The thing about being a boring, authentic wage slave is that you kind of run out of things to talk about. You're not always going on adventures like these other influencers. I have the whole idea in my mind of what it would look like, but I have no idea how to actually do it. Oh, so you have like a persona kind of thing that you want to have your avatar look like? You could probably just use like Midjourney or something and do like a basic sketch with basic colors and then just filter it through AI and then give it to an artist to bring it to a more natural finish. Channels that push themselves are so cringe. Yeah, you can always tell the ones that are going for views and monetization money. It's probably best if you stay small and off the radar. Yeah, I agree with that. Exactly, Surly Barber. Raymond is a level 1 stan hater stan. He's like Route 1. Like, we haven't even entered into like the first gym battle of what could be possible with content creation. Like, we have not even evolved to our second stage yet. We've leveled up. We've done well. But like, there is so much more to this. Like, he's a D, like an F tier. We haven't even gotten to like A-list. And it's funny because it's like wherever you go, there you are. So whatever scandals and dramas and whatever's happening at one level is going to follow you to the next level, and it will be equivalently damaging as it was at the first level. It's kind of like your addiction doing push-ups in the parking lot. It's like you never outsmart the haters because they're always one step ahead. It's crazy. Just make content. Doing it as a job is hard. Thank you, Cosnu. I feel like I have more freedom if I don't stress and I have another source of income. It's pretty old YouTube style. Thanks, Punk. I feel like it's more authentic though. And it's coming back into style, but then who knows what's next. My depression sucks so hard to make YouTube at times. I feel that Konznaku. But you could also make a YouTube video about not wanting to make a YouTube video because you're depressed. But what makes you feel happy? I feel happy when I'm creating. It's when I feel peace. Typical results for authenticity are 10 subs. Oh. Shelby is a rare 20K superstar. Thor, I really still don't know why mine picked up. I've looked at similar channels with other women who I believe in my mind are more attractive than me. So I'm like, what is it? Is it the fact that I'm average that has resonated with so many people? Because it's like, I haven't had the hot girl experience that's so common on YouTube where I'm like transpiring through New York and LA. I've never even been there. I went to Broadway one time. I feel like just talking to someone that's kind of middle America coded is a little bit more rare, I guess. A lot of people resonated with it. Grew up watching YouTube without any sort of idea about content coaches. All YouTubers grew organically. That's the thing, Hassan. If I wanted to take it to another level, I would have to kind of retain authenticity and organic growth, but I would also have to become very strategic. And I don't know how to do that by myself because I don't really think strategically. So I'd have to have somebody help me with that. But I have other priorities right now. But yeah, people are drifting into that now. Shelby, I'm thinking about going to my 10-year reunion. Would you? I'm not going. Or would it be too painful for you? No one's going to recognize me, Darsh. See, the thing is the people that I would want to see aren't even going to go to it anyways. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't go to my 10-year. I just found out that it happened like a couple of years ago, completely skipped it. I think my 15-year will be coming up this year, but I don't know if there's going to be a thing. But hey, if you want to go, go. I'm not going to tell you not to go. No, not really. My videos are the only proof. I'm learning all this as I go. Oh, learning all of this as you go. Okay. I'll check out your videos again from an editing perspective. Will I marry you? I don't know, Prince A. Sorry, guys. I'm behind the chat. Let's see. I'm going to skip some chats. So if I skipped your thing, I'm sorry. Time traveling. I am in Florida and I'm trying to live in a camper out of the country. Only pay $350 a month for rent, but I'm also scared of hurricanes. Yeah, that's scary. Because it's not on a permanent foundation, is it, Rainbow? Colorado is awesome. YouTube for sure wants us to be like robots. High school reunion. So on the vein of like content strategy, you guys know, for example, I would even use Raymond as an example. So for example, Dad in Dark Mode, Raymond, and what's that other guy's name who does reaction style videos to like the patriarchy or the women or modern women? I forget. He has like 50, 60,000 subs. He's on my feed all the time, but I can't remember his name. But anyway, I feel like reacting to other people's content is kind of one way to do it. One thing Raymond has is the gift of the gab. I'll give him that. He's a very good talker. Almost to the point where you can't get a word in edgewise, but still. He's very good at talking. Better so than I am, probably. And he's educated too, which is really disappointing, right? So I always kind of looked up to him. I'm like, this is a very educated, smart guy. Too bad he's a complete jerk who punched down when I was on the rise and just kind of dogpiled on me when everybody was coming for me. So whatever. I want to do YouTube really badly because I want other people, disabled people, but I'm very unattractive woman. I have a hormone disorder. I feel like so many people would relate to that, Rainbow. And you know what's funny, Rainbow, is I told myself all sorts of things. I'm like, I have a scar down my stomach. Nobody's going to see it. But it's like, who's going to listen to like me, a 32-year-old loser? But I feel like the fact that you are not in the mold, you're not conventionally attractive, you're not this cookie cutter influencer type, is already your advantage, Rainbow. That's your advantage right there. Just like my advantage was being completely an average loser, genuinely. And I showed up that way and I didn't try to pretend to be somebody else. So Rainbow, I think the fact that you are, by society's definition, by your definition, by the way you feel, unattractive. So many people have PCOS. So many people have fibromyalgia. So many people have endometriosis. They would all understand what that's like. And yeah. Am I going to see Vanessa Carlton? I haven't bought tickets yet. It's in May though, which is coming up soon. A lot of people in the doomer genre, for lack of a better categorization, end up deleting the video sometimes down the road. I kind of did that for a second, Doug. I got paranoid, but then I put them all back up. I might, Doug. I really don't know. You should focus on that. It's getting that confidence to not care what people think. I've seen people on here with neurofibromatosis, which is, if you don't know what that is, it's basically like they have these benign tumors and lumps and warts growing all over their body. And they make bank on here being like conventionally ugly, like truly ugly in terms of like society standards. and they educate people on their condition all the time. So they deal with a lot of hatred, but then they use those hate comments as like a bouncing point for their content, and they'll respond to the hate comments on TikTok and stuff like that. And people love that kind of thing because they're educating the public. Can being attractive be a cure as well? I feel like if I was trying to present myself as a hot girl and I was trying to do baddie-esque coded things, my channel would not work. So I think the secret is like identifying yourself and being self-aware and just being aligned with what you're saying. That's the first step to authenticity, is self-awareness. But if you're genuinely hot and you have a hot boyfriend and he's rich and you're living on yachts and that's your real ass life and you're not buying it on credit and that's just how you roll, people are going to be super interested in that because that's real. I'd be totally interested in that, but it just seems like there's so much fakeness. I know some 32-year-olds, unemployed, lousy as fuck, but for some odd reason, they don't think of themselves as losers. That is so strange, Loranja. I can't stand the fact that I'm in this situation. It's so embarrassing. I'm telling you, you'll be fine. I used to be like that too. Thanks, Willie. I wish to be an inspiration, like a role model to other women who suffer the same conditions. Yes, Rainbow, and you will be. Because you can tell them what's next because you have that perspective. You're in your 40s, right? So someone who's like in their early 20s who doesn't know what's down the pike or what might be lying ahead, you can warn them about relationships and stuff like that. Reaction content gets one of the highest controversies, though, too. It's pretty ugly. And to men, too, of course, who deal with conditions that affect both genders. Shelby, but you're not ugly by any means at all, and you have money, right? I'm not poor. I'm not ugly. I mean, personally, I don't have a lot of money, but my family is not poor because they work their whole life. So I'm in a good neighborhood, at least. Like, I'm not in public housing. I wouldn't even be able to probably even qualify for it because of my family's household income and the fact that I'm not being starved and beaten. I have almost 50K subscribers, but almost got demonetized twice. Whoa, what? Why is that? I'm going to click on your channel. Go to channel. Oops. What do you do? Oh, you don't get a lot of views, though. What's up with that? So I'm seeing that you have 50K subs, but you only have, like, how many videos? Is it mostly on shorts? No, you don't get a lot of views. I guess, like, what's your most popular? Your most popular are your shorts. I don't know what this is all about. I don't want to watch it. It looks kind of scary. Yeah, give advice like you're giving advice to 20-year-old you. Is Louis Miguel in 90s good looking? Who is that? Louis Miguel, 1990s. He looks like a baddie. Oh, he's come on. Is he hot? This guy is like conventionally a Chad, dude. How can you say, look at him posing on the beach, shirt half open. I don't know this guy, but he looks like he was pulling some baddies back in the day. Louis Miguel, 1990s. Who is this guy? He seems to be some sort of singer. El Sol de Mexico is a Puerto Rican-born Mexican singer and record producer, celebrated as one of the greatest Latin music artists of all time. Okay, so I don't know anything about Latin music, but now we do. Yeah, he's hot as fuck, dude. Come on. That guy is fine. I don't see how anyone could argue that. He's blonde with a chiseled jawline. He's got a freaking Puerto Rican accent. Yeah. He's hot. Shelby can get a million times better than Raymond. I think I have the potential, but I don't know how I'm going to get there. Trying to get public housing in Detroit, disabled income. Oh, it is a long waiting list, I've heard. Give Rainbow some good energy. Mean people are really don't like confident weirdos because, oh yeah, that's what I've seen. So there's this one guy, there's several autistic content creators that I've been watching, and I can't think of their names off the top of my head, but I'm like, damn, like this guy is shameless in his autism. He stems and he doesn't give a fuck. He's like doing it in public and people are like looking at him and he's getting kicked out of places and he doesn't care. He's like, that's their problem. Yo, what's up, Sam? He dated Mariah Carey. Oh my God. Yeah, bro had game. We know this. He was pretty legendary, it seems. What's up, Ruthless? Mean people really don't like confident weirdos. I love that. That's what I want to become as a confident weirdo. I want to be so confident, but I don't know where confidence comes from. And I know I glossed over this, but I kind of was thinking about getting a dog trainer certification, but that's a really long journey and it's a huge investment. He pulled Mariah Carey and I bet he treated her really well until she got involved with all that other shit that she got involved with. It's sad to me that my last concert that I went to was a Lady Antebellum concert during the midst of a flare up. So this is a picture by my niece. Pretty cool, right? I was always in love with the girl next door type girls that were kind of alternative to Disney, like Vanessa Carlton, who I hopefully will see live. I liked her. I liked Fiona Apple. I liked Alanis Morissette. I liked, all the basic, the girls that weren't like conventionally hot. I always resonated with them because their music seemed more down to earth and real than the produced stuff, like Britney and Christina Aguilera, though I like them too, of course. You can't send pictures in the chat? Dang. I like Michelle Branch too. She beat her husband and got arrested because he cheated and she slapped him. Love that for her. Yeah, Brittany just got a DUI. She was in the Epstein files like 115 times. So I would probably start with a purebred dog because I want to have a full understanding of what temperament it would have. And there's a lot of dogs that I'm looking at. Jessica Alba was so fine back then. Maybe she still is. I haven't seen her in a while. I really care about Brittany. Yeah. She got MK Ultra, dude. It's in the Epstein files for sure. I don't think I'm bi-curious. I'm pretty sure I'm straight, though I'm just kind of a slob. Like, my thing is, like, I never learned proper grooming as a woman. I just got shamed for looking like a slob, and nobody ever, like, properly taught or encouraged or reinforced how to, like, look good as a woman. And people think you just come by that naturally, but you have to be taught. I don't think I'm into girls. I just think I have a low libido right now because of everything. My meds have nerfed me. My egg count is low for my age too. It's like 5 years older, so I'm probably going to be going into menopause eventually. Because the biologics that I had for ulcerative colitis, they nerf your egg count pretty bad. It's sad. It also is probably why I had amenorrhea for that time while I was on those meds. What's up, Courtney? How's life? Good. Thanks. I was going to post that comment, but I can't cut comments on my phone. Okay. Miley's song Flowers really helped me. I always liked The Climb, which I know is like an older one, but I listened to that song when I was in the hospital. I had a whole playlist. I liked like Michael Jackson was on my playlist. Heal the World was a big one that I listened to a lot. You Are Not Alone, I listened to like every single day when I was in the hospital. I always had faith that Michael's story and the narrative of his life would be reclaimed. And now it has been reclaimed. PJ Harvey, let me check. English singer and songwriter. Oh, she seems like I'd probably be into her. She's just from a different generation, so I didn't really get exposed to her. I don't want to get banned, but I'm going to like silently listen to her. She's like a rock star. Oh, she's a baddie. Okay. When was she relevant? She seems like she was like really spicy and ahead of her time. She seems super modern for that old one. I don't know when that one song that I was just looking at came out. See, the thing is, I don't know a lot about music. It's not something where I've ever gone into a deep dive or a rabbit hole with. So my understanding of music is very surface level, very pedestrian. Oh my god, I remember when Michael Jackson died, I was on neopets.com, and that's how I first heard about it, Willie. I was so crazy worked up over it too. I heard about it on the Neopets forums. I couldn't believe it. Anybody here listen to Earl Sweetheart? Never heard of him. 90s was when she was relevant. She's really authentic and rock star-esque and ahead of her time, I would say. I went into a deep depression. It was horrible. Who was that other one? Oh, Bjork. How did I forget Bjork? We can't. Speaking of like visionaries, Bjork is one of my faves. The song that always pulls me out of a shit mood, Never Ending Story theme song. That's okay. PJ Harvey was an indie. You know what? I memorized my hospital playlist because I played it constantly when I was going through treatment. And one of them was Hans Zimmer, like the Lion King soundtrack, the instrumentals. Do I have any? You know what, single dad from Florida? I really want to do a photo shoot where I get like a professional photo shoot. The last time I had one done was for my high school graduation. But I want to have like a full blown makeover and get it like a proper photo shoot. Yeah, it's got to happen. Eminem's that one album, Recovery by Eminem, was really good. That's the one. That's the one like that's really iconic. I'm not. How does that song go? Da, da, da. I can't even sing, so I know that one song where he's like, "Yo, it's been a while," and he's like, "I'm not afraid to be the man, to not be the man that I used to be like I was a fuck up and blah 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 da da da." I love that song. It's my favorite. That was on my recovery playlist too. Sani, oh yeah, we got her. She's a real one. I'm not going to say her name right, Sinead O'Connor, but yeah, definitely. I was sitting with a sprained ankle for 3 days when I saw the news of Michael Jackson. Oh my God, they killed him because he knew too much. It's so obvious now. To take a stand, everybody, come take my hand. Sometimes I want a song that will get me shedding some tears, alone again naturally. You know what makes me cry? Concrete Angels by Martina McBride. I listened to that one when I was going through before my dad died. Concrete Angels. Because it made me feel like, wow, other people are going through like their parent being an alcoholic, but this guy's parent killed him. It was crazy. Anyway, I also liked Whiskey Lullaby by Carrie Underwood. I think that's what that one was called. Back when I was really into country music. Dry lightning cracks across the sky. No, wait, that's not it. Not Whiskey Lullaby. Hold on. Let me look at it. Let me look it up. Blown Away is the song I was thinking of. Blown Away by Carrie Underwood. Back when I was into pop country. Oh, sorry, Rainbow. You don't have to listen to it. I never got into metal. Maybe you think about like, okay, would be here. I'm such a layperson. So in terms of metal, I'm sure I've heard some. I don't like death metal. So I know that Linkin Park is like layperson, like vanilla. Everybody is like, that doesn't really count, right? That's not real. But would Slipknot be metal? So if Slipknot is metal, I listened to a bit of that. I hurt myself today. Yeah, I know that song. Is that metal? 9 Inch Nails. I'm trying to think of like what else I know because I was born in 93, so I didn't really get exposed to it until like I was a teenager. Alice in Chains. I kind of remember that. And I think Korn was a little bit before my time, but okay, so the one I remember the most, and this is kind of vanilla, it's more like pop, metal, but Papa Roach. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing. That one is probably, yeah, I remember that. That was on my crash out list. So would Papa Roach be like pop metal? Broken home, all alone. That song? I said corn, not porn. Corn! So what kind of metal is Papa Roach? What genre is Papa Roach? Disturbed. I don't know if I know any Disturbed because I wasn't really into it. 3 Days Grace, I think I've heard a couple of their songs. Papa Roach probably isn't metal. It's more of like alt rock with screaming involved. Yeah, alt rock is probably it. Alt pop rock, to be honest. Pop rocks. Papa has some heavy metal, but not the ones that you ever heard on the radio. They have some. I don't really know anything about metal. Beautiful in every single way. Words won't bring you down. You know what's funny about Christina Aguilera is like she completely treated what was that girl's name? Melanie Martinez, who was on The Voice, who I think was a real visionary, by the way, she like completely snubbed Melanie Martinez when she was on The Voice. I'm like, that's kind of a weird way to treat the alt girl as someone that was like beautiful. Everyone's beautiful. Everyone needs to be perfect. But then again, whatever. Metal is like, if you're pissed, go for death metal. If you're pain, go for metalcore. If you're not sure, go for new metal. I don't even know the different types of metal. You just exposed me to every type of metal I don't even know. My sister is like, she watches like sometimes she does, but she's not up to date on it. Love Melanie Martinez so much. She used to watch Crybaby. Her new era just came out. Her new era is up and coming, Rainbow. Have you seen some of her new videos? All I know about EDM is Skrillex and his vaporwave, like EDM sort of. Who was that one guy that was like a DJ but he died? Avicii. Was Avicii EDM? I don't know if Avicii was EDM or not. But he was really talented. Too bad he got sucked in and couldn't make it out alive. The Weeknd has some elements of EDM. Avicii was EDM. Okay, that's basically all I know about EDM is who do I know about EDM? The basics, like Avicii and dubstep. The fucking Skrillex or whatever, the half shaved head guy. So that's all I know. Yeah, and I feel like it was under sus circumstances, wasn't it? Like other people were in the room when he was doing it, but they were like driving him to do it. He was surrounded by demons. Avicii unalived or OD'd, one of the two. Do you guys remember when that guy from Glee unalived? That was kind of metal that combined with shrooms is a blizzard. See, I wouldn't want to combine anything with shrooms publicly. Shrooms is like, I feel like I absorb too much energy and I don't even want to use it again, to be honest. Avicii was like one of those sensitive visionaries that just couldn't handle the physical plane. You know what I mean? I relate to that. I'm not like an S tier. He was S tier. He was an S tier sensitive artist person who self-actualized within his lifetime, but also lived to see himself fall from grace. And I really relate to that archetype of person, though, the struggling artist type. I heard if you drink in a less spirits to enjoy the high. Interesting. Thanks for the stream. I do appreciate it. I know a lot of us do. There's a reason why you're here. Thank you, Willie. The top metal singers are power metal. What would okay, so alt pop, alternative rock. So what is My Chemical Romance? What is that? Emo music? I don't think I want a baby single dad from Florida. Okay, emo. And Paramore is kind of like a girl rock group, but also emo, right? I feel like a lot of their early music was very vengeful and negative. Like Misery Business was all about like stealing a man from a woman that she was jealous of. Kind of low. I know like Fall Out Boy was basically standard. And of course, I really liked Panic at the Disco back in the day. Bowling for Soup was a little bit before then, but Fall Out Boy was so paramountly early 2000s emo. Ramstein, okay. I'm gonna have to write that down because I'm not gonna remember it. Centuries. Look at this photograph. What is that from? That's Linkin Park, right? Oh, pop punk. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Paramore was probably pop punk, and Evanescence was like that version, but more ballad oriented. Nickelback. That's the one that everybody hated. Why did everyone hate Nickelback again? Okay. And then that became a meme. I remember that. Do you guys remember Lighthouses? Okay, so Lighthouses was kind of like Nickelback, or Lighthouse, I think that was the name of the band. There was this one alt band that you guys have probably never heard of, which is called The Academy Is. And I listened to them a lot. Why was Nickelback hated in the moment, though? It was like just the cool thing to hate Nickelback. The Academy Is was basically like alt indie Fall Out Boy, kind of. I remember a lot of their songs. Let me think if I can like conjure one up from my memory. Let's see. The Academy was founded in 2003 American rock band associated with scene subculture. They were kind of indie though. They never got like radio time. They're on Fueled by Ramen though. Yeah, it's super Fall Out Boy coded though. Oh yeah, Hassan, like basically in the high school schoolyards, Hassan, of America, yeah, Nickelback was like the worst. Everyone hated it. People hate Nickelback primarily due to their formulaic radio-friendly sound, which many critics and listeners found derivative. Okay, but who cares? But they made service level rock music that was really successful. I think that's an accomplishment. There's plenty of other bands that you could listen to. Why are you hating on someone that decided that their lane was the formulaic lane? Somebody has to do it. Nickelback had a bunch of lame imitators, and those ripoff acts are what killed rock music. Oh, he didn't let you post. But songs are pretty awesome and relatable. I know, Shannon. I did ask why they hated them, but I'm like, the hate doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense why people hate people for being popular. Because to be honest, I always kind of thought Nickelback was pretty cool. But I'm also a very pedestrian person when it comes to music. So I don't have like this working knowledge of rock music, so I don't know who they're ripping off, if that makes sense. Like Britney was ripping off Janet Jackson and Madonna for years. That's what every artist does in the beginning. Oh yeah, POS for what he did to Britney. True that. He's kind of like Raymond. He's like S tier Raymond, where he like never got over someone. I always wanted to be like a scene girl, but I could never get my mom to buy me scene clothes. Brittany shaved her head because I read her memoir and she said, I know that my hair was part of my look and I wanted to destroy my brand in every possible way. And I knew that if I took my hair, they wouldn't be able to control that aspect of me anymore. So she was kind of doing it to take control back. She touched on that in her memoir. Exactly, Surly Barber. Not everyone is a hipster. Most people aren't. That's why Nickelback was commercially successful, because they appealed to the masses, and somebody has to do that. They were good at it. Am I a fan of early 2000s TV shows? Well, I was a kid, so mostly cartoons, right? I think she just wanted to get rid of what made her so attractive to her handlers. And I think that everyone overreacted. It was her body, her choice. She could have shaved her head if she wanted to. I don't think that means she was mentally unstable, although I think that she probably is now after what they put her through. I don't think my hair would grow back the same if I shaved it. It's already coarser than it was 5 years ago. Oh, the Osbournes, yes. Oh my God. That was like the original Kardashians. They were so funny. Ed, Ed and Eddie, of course. I love the Osbournes. The Osbournes Family Jewel. No. There was who was the Family Jewels show? Osbournes was one, and then there was the Family Jewels show, right? Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. Do you guys remember that one? Hmm. Do you guys remember Dog the Bounty Hunter? The Osbournes was basically, so Ozzy Osbourne, Hassan was like a really famous musician, but he also had this really quirky family. And they were just kind of like the Kardashians, where they would just do all this freaking rich people shit and they were completely disconnected from reality. And it was just them doing shit throughout the day, doing the most spontaneous, ludicrous kind of thing. Kind of like Paris Hilton esque. Oh, American Pickers was good. Britney was just arrested. Yep. I hope we're not looking at another Whitney Houston. I hope not too. I really want Britney to be okay. I really do. But I think Britney needs structure. The thing is, I think Britney knows she needs help, but Britney isn't going to accept help because she's been screwed over by the people that were in charge of her care before. It's not that she doesn't want care or need care. It's that she doesn't want the wrong people in charge of that aspect of her life, if that makes sense. And if I was her, I'd be really hesitant too. But she needs a care team. Oh, School of Rock by Jack Black. Yeah, that's good. This might seem random or weird, but I really like to say this live stream just made my day 3 times better. Laranja, thank you. Laranja, 8,000, thanks. You should read her memoir. She doesn't even mention the Epstein files. I think she kind of just glazed over the surface. But she does say they took a lot of blood from her and tapped into her bones, and they probably extracted her marrow. Shane Osbourne kept Ozzy Osbourne alive. Yeah, I agree. Kelly Osbourne just looks like she's had bad plastic surgery, and I think plastic surgery has come a lot longer of a way than it did when she started getting it back in the early 90s or the late 90s. I might even get a facelift if I could afford it and I could have someone do it the right way. Not now, of course. Oh, Kelly Osbourne is the daughter or the wife. Oh, she's the daughter, I guess. Okay. What did he do to Cat's Rainbow? On another note, the entire plot of Avengers Doomsday League. I don't even know anything about that. I am working tomorrow, 1 to 5, I think. She probably needs isolation from the people and places. Yeah. But unfortunately, last time she went into a facility, she came out and her money was no longer in her control. And I think that maybe that's okay in a certain way because she does have like manic tendencies, but they were only giving her like what, $100 a day. There was so much more they could do to have helped her in that moment, but they fumbled it. And I think a lot of it was kind of unprecedented because we were just getting this conversation about mental health that even started. And I think what happened to Britney, she had her mental breakdown before mental health was like a cool thing to talk about. There was still a lot of stigma. She was thrown to the wolves. So because of that, I think they really compromised her rights just in general, as a culture. We weren't really there yet evolutionarily when it came to mental patients. I don't want to know Rainbow. I can't stand it. My new job, I'm doing all right. I got sat down today though, but don't get plastic surgery. You're going to age well naturally if you take care of yourself. You'll be that hot 50-year-old that the younger guys look up to. Okay. The thing is, I'd probably get I think by the time I'm 50, I think plastic surgery will be a little more advanced. I don't want like a full facelift. I wouldn't even get rid of like crow's feet or wrinkles. I would just if I get jowly, I would just kind of do a mini. So it looks natty. But that's when I'm 50 though. I would try to avoid becoming a single mother. Mostly because of that, it seems like it's tough. Yeah, Brittany. Poor Brittany. I have never done Botox. I did PRP and I did microneedling. But the best thing I could probably do is get more sleep, drink more water, and eat less sugar. Straight up. Stay natty. Stay natty. I feel like I should stay natty until I can manage to get more sleep, eat less sugar, and drink more water, and exercise, and avoid the sun, and use retinol. I don't think I got much results from microneedling. Sugar is so freaking annoying. I'm going to get swole. I feel like if you get Botox before age 45, it makes you look older. Candy is a drug, dude. I have candy in my car right now. I ate so much candy today. It's crazy. Could you guys see me getting could you see me guys getting muscle definition and gain? They say that the biggest thing you can do for anti-aging in your 30s is build muscle. I like chamoy, which is like this Mexican spicy candy. I know, look at these roids. Sugar, carbs, and seed oils for sure. And they say that scrolling is it gives you more dementia. I'm going to get dementia, I think. Oh, Rainbow, I'm sorry. Maybe there's some sort of adaptive sports you can do. But I know you have those hormonal issues, so that makes weight loss pretty tough. And I think that makes gaining muscle tough as well. It's really just fucks everything up, honestly. I'm already doing just by walking. That's how I get my energy. It's cool. I have gray hairs too. I actually just got some new ones. Here, you see that one? It was there. You see it? Oh, look at all that. Look at all that. Oh no, that's new. Can't have that. That was horrible. I'm getting old. I'm gonna have to start dyeing my hair soon. It's gonna be like, you know what's gonna happen is when I go all gray, I'm gonna have like salt and pepper. I'm gonna embrace some of the gray. Like when it's all gray, I'm gonna have like gray streaks, like I'm Morticia or something. I've never bleached my hair or dyed it. That's probably why it's so healthy. I've never straightened it. I've never even blow dried it half the time. Nobody can tell. I can tell. I know. Because when I found my first gray pube, I knew I was 30. Embrace the gray. I'd probably not embrace it all the way until I'm like 70. I'd probably go completely gray at 70. But I'd probably go progressively more gray throughout the years and leave a little bit of like aging. Do you know who Emmylou Harris is? She went gray in her 30s and never dyed it. Interesting. I haven't heard of her. I know there was this one American Idol contestant who had gray hair and he was like 25. Oh, she's a classic country singer. What's her name? What was her name again? Emmylou Harris. Gracefully gray. Emmylou Harris has been a country icon since the 70s, and at 77, she's still going strong. Cool. In addition, known for a striking appearance and has rocked gorgeously gray hair since the 80s. When it came to showing off her grays, Harris was ahead of the curve, as it's only in recent years that women have been talking openly about ditching the dye. I did color it for a while, and then it was just so much trouble. And it didn't look good on me. I would color it, women would do whatever makes them feel good, but I do wish we would accept our aging selves. Cool, 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 cool. My sister has gray hair too, yeah. My mom actually went completely gray on purpose. She had dyed her hair for a very long time, but then she decided to go gray with it. Yeah, if you're famous, then going gray is a statement, right? But for the rest of us, it's like, what? Why are you doing that? I'm not a redhead. No, my hair is completely naturally brown. I'm the standard American white girl package. You know, like I'm like 5'6", brown hair, brown eyes, pretty typical. As a 6-foot burly 220-pound guy, I get rid of gray hairs by shaving it off. Oh, okay. I think you could probably rock a cue ball, Surly Barber. You are a barber after all. I mean, retiring is not an option. I probably won't retire until my parents die. I mean, my mom could live to be 100. I'd be 70 then. I hope my parents don't die, but I know we don't get along, but still. Standard American. Well, here's the thing, Thor. I think I'm actually above average for an American. Let me look this up. Average 30-year-old American woman stats. Let's look at the stats. Oh my god. Okay, so here we go. No, that's sex. I don't want to talk about that. 77 times a year though. I think I would probably be doing a little bit more than that if I had a partner. That seems low. Okay, I'm going to select a state. It's asking me to select a state for my health. Georgia. So in the state of Georgia, according to 2023 stats, oh, here we go. Adults who are obese in Georgia, 38% of women. Oh my God, that's so many people. I'm not fat. Women who report ever being told by their doctor they have diabetes. All women in Georgia, 13%. Okay, that's not that bad. Women who have been reported to their doctor that they have hypertension, 36%. That's like a 1 in 3. Adults who report smoking, 10% of women. I gotta stop. I don't want to be that part. Cervical cancer rate, all women, 7.5. I don't know what that means. Okay. This is from, I'm on kff.org, which is an org, the independent source for health policy research, polling, and news. That's what I was on, kff.org. That's where I got it. Interesting. I wish you luck, Rainbow. It's so hard. I don't really smoke that much. I went 3 weeks without it, and I barely had any cravings. I just do it because I get bored. I smoke like Swisher Sweets and stuff like that. I've never smoked any cigarettes, though. My room needs to be decluttered so bad, Alan. It's crazy. It's all made up BS. Everybody's different. 30-year-old American woman health stats. Oh, here we go. CDC. Let's see what the CDC says. Percentage of women who meet the federal physical activity guidelines, 20%. I gotta enter the 20%, guys. Obesity, percentage of women 20 and older who are overweight, 41%. Hypertension, 44%. Leading causes of death, heart disease, cancer, stroke. Yo. Births. Let's see. Race and ethnicity. No, contraceptive use. Oh, okay. Women 15 to 49 currently using the pill, 11.4%. Percentage of women currently using long-acting reversible contraception, IUD, implant, etc., 10%. Women using just sterilizing themselves, 11%. What? Nobody's on birth control? Yo, what? What is going on? Okay. 54% of women in their reproductive years in the United States are using contraception. Okay. White women are leading the charge with tying our tubes, that is. 41% overweight. What the heck? Oh, non-American citric. Okay. It's all good. These corporate surveys, yeah. I don't take hormonal birth control ever. I have a copper IUD, and I don't care how painful it was. What time should you call me after work tomorrow? Why don't you call me at like 9 p.m. or 8:30? Doug, I don't know. I can't tell you that. Quitting nicotine is a tough one. I don't even know why I started. I just started during the pandemic. I didn't even start when I was 21. It just like happened that I just wanted to grab like a Black and Mild one time, and then it turned into like 100 times. Oh, Shannon, it made me want to die. I almost unalived. It was like in combination to that, it was like a tie, like hormonal birth control versus benzo withdrawals. They were like tied for bad, for worst I've ever felt in my life. I had a period that lasted. I had 2 periods in 1 month at a point when I was on hormonal birth control, and I'm terrible at remembering to take pills. So I wasn't even taking it correctly. So yeah, not an option for me. Miracle I didn't get pregnant. Okay, Willie. Benzo withdrawals landed me in the psych ward for 90 days. 14 days of stabilization, and then the rest was intensive outpatient because I was not okay. Diet soda and my phone. Oh God, my phone. I just made a video about that. Dating options for an autistic disabled woman anywhere is not good, but probably better in a city, right? I had 2 in 1 month. Oh, from stress. One time I went 2 years without one after I'd started because I was so sick and emaciated. I told you guys that once. But sadly, my egg count, like my AMH levels are low for my age. I'm basically like 5 years older ovarian wise because of the Humira and Remicade and all that shit. I wish they had told me more about that because I think that there was other options to preserve my fertility before they had nerfed it. They told me it could affect fertility, but they didn't offer me any solutions. Thank you, Edna. PCOS, yeah. Vanessa Carlton has PCOS, which I shouldn't know, but I do. I know all of her problems. First time tuning into my content. Thanks for sharing. Thank you, Angel Does Star. I dated a few people a couple of years ago and realized once again that shit ain't for me. Yeah. Vanessa does have PCOS. She actually had an ectopic pregnancy as well, where she had to have one ovary and one tube fully removed. And then she somehow got pregnant once after. But she said that hers was primarily triggered by pushing herself too hard. And most of it resolved naturally when she just left Hollywood. Maybe she doesn't. Am I wrong? I know she had an ectopic pregnancy, though. Maybe I was wrong about her having PCOS. I know she had some sort of reproductive issue. But I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. I Googled it, but I didn't see it. Have I ever dated a single dad? Yes. single dad. I dated a single dad who had kids that were a little bit younger than me. When I was 28, I dated a 60-year-old man. That's the guy I lost my virginity to, besides the medical appliances. He was a good fit, though. He had a farm and everything. He would feed me. Thank you, Mr. Money Moves. I try. We can... What can we talk about here? I don't want to go off topic and wreck the flow. We can talk about anything, Michael. Or Michelle, whatever your name is. Oh, she has been very open about having PCOS. Okay. Yeah. And she had an ectopic pregnancy and then somehow had a miracle baby at like 32. And she's 45 now, so her kid's like a teenager. I know that she has access to pretty much everything, Rainbow. So I would probably listen to her because she's probably tried everything and she'll tell you what actually worked to save you money. I have ADHD, depression, and like intrusive thoughts and stuff like that. And just emotional dysregulation in general, which is mostly my ADHD, I guess, and trauma. Lady Gaga has fibromyalgia, and she did a documentary that showed the truth of what it's like living with it. That's awesome, Rainbow. What part of the state am I living in? I live in Metro Atlanta. And no, I'm not bipolar, though they almost gave me a diagnosis of that, but it was just a combination of drug withdrawals and all that had me like rapid cycling. Longest stream I've done in a while. I guess we had to catch up eventually, though. I was thinking the other day, is clinical depression real? Is like a chemical imbalance might be real, but like what's causing it? We're addressing the symptom and not the root cause. You know what I mean? It's a lot of it is environmental, but once your environment fucks up your brain, kind of like being in a car accident, what can you really do to recover it? I have major depression. I fight every day. Michael, I'm really sending you love. I started taking methylfolate. I do take that as well. I think it's helping me. I take methylated folate. I might be a poor methylator. Do you guys know the motherfucker gene? Have you heard of that? Some people cannot metabolize folic acid, and they have to take the methylated version of the B vitamins. Otherwise, they become extremely depressed and hostile. And they'll even kill their own young. Like human beings that unalive their babies in postpartum are usually just low on folic acid, on methylated folate. Like it's actually been linked to postpartum psychosis, believe it or not, and depression. Okay, let me look this up. The MTHFR gene is what it's called, but they colloquially will call it the motherfucker gene. And there's a mutation that can lead to impaired folate metabolism, which is linked to increased risk of cardiovascular disease, blood clots, impact. mutation symptoms. I'll put this in the chat. It's not sending. Send. I deleted the extra. It wouldn't let me post the whole thing. I guess there's a limit. All right, whatever. Basically, it says mood disturbances, cognitive decline even. So I know that if I'm not getting my methylated folate, I might be fucked up. I'm glad your cat saved your life. The balance of life is so fragile. Just some missing folic acid capable of doing all that. Yeah, because some people, it's not even folic acid though. Remember this, Astolia Barber. People with the motherfucker mutation, they call it that because it causes postpartum depression. And they see that like 80% of people who have postpartum depression have the motherfucker gene. It's MTHFR, so they call it the motherfucker gene. And they say that you can't metabolize folic acid. That's the whole problem. So you have to take the methylated version of it. Otherwise, you could die. Or you'll just be so miserable you can't stand it. Due to neuroplasticity, you can rewire your brain. I believe that, but like, where do we go to do that? Because we're living in the same routine every day, and most of us don't have time to rewire our brain and brainwash ourselves. Job could be going better. I have had someone sit me down today and make a complaint, but I talked to my supervisor and she was very understanding about it. I haven't been to Six Flags in a long time. They say once you hit 35, your neuroplasticity declines. Functional neuroplasticity is involved in the brain's ability to move functions from damaged parts to undamaged areas. For example, after a stroke, other parts of the body may take over functions that were lost due to damage. Structural plasticity refers to the brain's ability to physically change its structure in response to learning and experience. This includes the formation of new synaptic connections and strengthening the existing ones as we learn new skills. Use it or lose it. Use it and improve it. Repetition, intensity matters, timing matters, salience matters. What does that mean? The more meaningful a task is to an individual, the better the learning and retention. There's a book called 8 Steps to Conquer Chronic Pain. Oh, I've read The Brain. Have you guys read The Brain That Changes Itself? Or Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers? That one's about chronic illness too. Yeah, playing drums is really good for that, Shannon. I bet drawing is good, but you only use one hand. Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers is a little bit difficult for the layperson to read. I had a hard time getting through it. I think it was a pretty bloated book that could have probably been summarized in like 150 pages. and made it a lot easier to understand. I know, and just like everything else, neuroplasticity is different. We have like neurorigidity, right? Why zebras don't get ulcers, like ulcers in your stomach? So it's basically zebras are under acute life-threatening stress periodically. But it's basically about when you're chased by a lion, you automatically, like, your body floods with adrenaline, right? But as soon as the threat is over, the adrenaline and the stress and the cortisol goes back to a baseline. This is basically about how zebras can maintain a calm baseline despite being under constant threat. But in modern life, the stress is complex and chronic. So you feel like a lion is chasing you all the time. And that exposure to cortisol is what really contributes to ulcerations and stuff. It's interesting to know, but it didn't really help me change anything. It just kind of introduces you to stress theory, basically, and different types of stress. Does your rental have its own kitchen? Yes, the rental unit has its own kitchen and its own bathroom and shower. It's a full 1-bedroom apartment that's just attached to the main house. We have a duplex, technically. It's a multi-family home. So my family kind of offsets the mortgage with other people's money, as my stepdad calls it, OPM, other people's money. And they intentionally chose this house because it could be used as a rental. And also because there's no HOA. We used to live in a place with an HOA and they were so OCD. It was crazy. Talk about Karens. Does your rental have its own kitchen? Zebras seem to have a damn miserable life. I don't know. I think they have miserable, intensely miserable moments, but for the most part, they don't dwell on death. They just live in the moment. So do you live with your mom? I live with my mom and my stepfather. I've got more cortisol right now than I know what to do with. Could you go to a sauna, Surly Barber? They say that exercise might actually increase cortisol. So maybe like hot yoga or a sauna if you don't feel like moving. Like a sauna would be great because you just sit there. Because I can't pay the rent, single dad from Florida, and my parents need it to pay the mortgage. I already have 2 rooms to myself. I can't. Saunas are good for you. I used to have a sauna subscription, but it got too expensive. HOAs are trash. I've heard HOAs really like attacking people. I'm looking into this. Sorry, I went silent for a second. Try to sell me a diet to go on that I cannot. Oh, yeah. I really need to go into the hot tub, but my social anxiety stops me. Yeah, I get that. Saunas usually have like private units though, but they're kind of expensive to go to like a far infrared unit sauna spa. It used to be like $100 for unlimited sessions, but then all of a sudden they got really popular and now it's like $300 a month. Yeah, forget it. You could rewire your nervous system. It's possible. It's just a little bit cost prohibitive and not accessible to most people. Does my mom accept Section 8 voucher? No one in this is not zoned for Section 8, so we can't do that. Single dad from Florida. This neighborhood is a uppity ass neighborhood. Richest neighborhoods in Metro ATL. At the top of the list, pretty much what you would think. As expected, where I live came in like number 5 out of 10. In terms of richest neighborhoods in Metro Atlanta, top 10. Ours would be considered, that's kind of mainland Atlanta. That's in Atlanta. I don't want in Atlanta. Now I'm just losing my track. Okay. The median home price where I live is $500,000, which makes it higher than the US median. The city's neighborhoods are more expensive than the state's average. This place's neighborhoods are more affluent than its outlying neighbors, reflecting the city's upscale suburban community status. Now you guys know I live in the suburbs. History, modern amenities, and tight-knit community. Cool. Yeah, we can't accept Section 8 vouchers here. They won't let it. It has to be zoned that way. It has to be allocated by the state. Candy in the 80s where I was a kid. Your home costs, you know what's crazy, Rainbow? My parents bought this house for $500K and they closed on it back in 2018. And now, according to Zillow, it's worth 1.2 in like 8 years or something. My mom is a financial professional and my stepfather is a project manager president at an engineering firm that manufactures plastic parts for machines that manufacture other plastic parts. He's kind of like an industry leader. He was really good at it, or is good at it. That's not houses becoming more valuable, it's dollars becoming less valuable. Although in 8 years, it's kind of a big jump, like 100%, 50%, 100%. How do 25-year-olds buy houses? I don't know. Wait, Candy, where do you live? Are you in Georgia? My parents were poor like me. They left the trailer. Damn. they're not ultra rich. They worked their way up the corporate ladder. They did it the old fashioned way, the way boomers everyone said to do. The boomers went to school, they got a degree, they got a job, they worked at the same company for 40 freaking years, back when that was a thing that you could do, and they kind of just moved up the ladder and became the most knowledgeable ones in their field, and saved and invested and lived below their means, and eventually ended up within, I guess, like the last 5 years in the upper class. But we didn't start out that way. I don't remember that. I went to public school and everything. My mom had a gambling problem. Oh, shoot. That's really tough. Yep. My mom and my biological father were both in finance. Although my mom kind of took a more flexible job. She moved from corporate payroll accounting to a smaller organization after she had us. We had just chicken and rice tonight. But my dad was very much a workaholic. He worked all the time. And he was very good at what he did. That's where they met, was at work, apparently. My mom was like a corporate accountant, and so was my dad. Accounts payable or whatever, I don't know. But I feel grateful to be able to live with my parents. Yeah, I understand it's difficult. I have 3 autoimmune diseases, 4 other chronic illnesses. I used to be, geez, Candy, I'm sorry to hear that. Wait, Candy, where did you say you live again? Maybe it's better to have always been poor than to have like been rich and lost everything, kind of like these lottery winners do. Colorado Springs, okay. Yeah, how accurate really is Zillow, right? You like my new painting? Thanks. Your parents were professors. That's pretty cool. Your mom was a gambling addict. Yeah, I went to a horse race once. It seemed like a waste of money, to be honest. Oh, she isn't aware of that. Wait, let's see. My mom had nothing but an old car and $1,000 trailer when she passed away at 79 years old. Oh my gosh. Yikes. I wish I was rich too, God. I'm not rich though. I just happen to have like a situation where I get to live in a good neighborhood while being poor. If it wasn't for my family, I'd be applying for public housing. You think Atlanta is more expensive? Let me see. I'm going to look up the city I live in, which is Metro, versus Tampa, Florida. Cost of living. Cost of living between where I live and Tampa. Cost of living, it's actually about the same. So where I live is 1.1% more expensive. And the estimated salary change is 2% difference. So we live in a pretty similar situation. Oh no, not online gambling. They say gambling is like the hardest addiction to break. Larghetto. Oh man. Is there like crime activity around there, Rainbow? In your neighborhood, that is? Yikes, that's scary, Rainbow. I'm losing my train of thought. I'm starting to slowly decline. I'm zoning out. But I gotta stretch myself, so let's keep on going. Where was I? Okay, this was a very informative stream. Try telling us a story. What story? I'm probably about to zone out. I've gone as long as I can. I'm looking forward to Gen 10. I might actually play this one. I'm not really into superhero stuff. I've never really got into it. That's really good, single dad. I have a bit of a trust fund myself, but I have to just not touch it and let it grow, honestly. It's not worth touching it at this point because I can't even buy a house with it right now. But if I just leave it, it should grow. I should do makeup more often, Joe, Joella. I'm not very good at it. I don't know how to do my own makeup. Vegas is a female. Vegas is an old woman. I'm like really thinking, I think this might be the end. Okay, guys, let's probably wrap it up. Thank you, GR. Good to see you. Cannot afford to gamble, even though if I could, I would suck at it. Oh, I would probably never gamble either because I don't like to lose money. I'm glad you, Rainbow, I get lonely too. You guys are like my main source of like actual peer support. When I become too ill to work, I live on my own. Oh, yeah. Lost all my friends. Lost all my friends. I made that whole video about it. It's like people just get tired of you saying I can't go. I'm drifting off too. I mean, when you buy a scratch ticket, you're basically paying for dopamine hit of hope and fantasy. You're basically just paying for a brief moment of fantasy when you buy lottery tickets. It's an escapism. Yep, I sure had bullying issues because I was developmentally delayed. So all the other girls were into boys. I hadn't gotten my period yet. Everyone was talking about their first man, my mans. I'm over here like I just want to play Pokemon when I get home and watch cartoons. And that became like such a paranoia for me of people finding out what I was actually into. And then I find out later that everyone was already always into it the whole time. I was just trying to impress the wrong people. When I pooped out blood, did you confuse it for hemorrhoids? Single dad. When I first started pooping out blood, my first reaction was, am I on my period? And then I'm like, no, it's coming out the wrong end. And then I did think it was hemorrhoids. I got hemorrhoid cream. I got enemas. I got suppositories. I didn't even go to the doctor. And then it would go away. So I'm like, okay. But then it would keep coming back. And every time it would come back with a vengeance. And it got to a point where I was doubled over in pain to the point where I collapsed when my mom was coming to take me home from college. And it had gradually escalated to the point where I hadn't realized how severe it was. But I ended up getting hospitalized from that moment for the next 45 days. So they admitted me for 45 days from that moment because I didn't even know how sick I was. I had to get 2 blood transfusions, an iron infusion, potassium shots, B12 shots. I had to be refilled with everything. I was depleted. I was dying, dude. It was crazy. I didn't know how sick I was. I didn't know I could get that sick. Anyway, we can talk more about that later. I should look through my old diaries because I wrote a lot of stuff, single dad, about all my drama. And the thing is, I was 18. I was embarrassed that I was pooping blood. I was so embarrassed that I didn't want to tell my mom that I was having bloody diarrhea. So part of the reason I was hospitalized for 45 days, which is the longest point I've ever been hospitalized, was because I went 8 months without ulcerative colitis treatment and my condition worsened to the point of needing intensive care because I was too embarrassed to tell anybody. And I was so resistant to treatment. I was just not a very good patient, you know? Had I gone in earlier, maybe they could have find my sick photos. I found one where I was like puffy in the face from the steroids. I'll have to see if I can get my mom to send them to me. But that's a good idea, Willie. I need to memorialize them somehow. I remember drinking like the most crazy concoctions. Yeah, there's a big stigma. I was affected by that as a previously healthy person, becoming ill for the first time, having butt and bowel issues. You don't want to say you have an ass disease. I remember looking at Farrah Fawcett, who, by the way, did die on the same day as Michael Jackson. We often forget that, but she had ass cancer, and she was pretty like tongue in cheek about it. She was really funny about it. I remember thinking about her when I first got sick, because that's how my dad died, was ass cancer in a combination with drinking. Raymond learned how to dance dodging a coat hanger. Oh my god, shouldn't laugh at that, but damn, they gave me prednisone too. I had the biggest, puffiest face. I had the biggest marshmallow face. You couldn't tell how emaciated I was because of the water retention. But I was down to like 85 pounds at one point. Yep, I had mesalamine too. Mesalamine enemas, which I couldn't keep in my ass due to the urgency. I would take like 6 mesalamine pills a day. Prednisone, Humira, Remicade were the main treatments back then. I don't know what else there is now. I would occasionally take Salumedrol, which is basically just another steroid. Flagyl for infections, vancomycin when I got C. diff. Yeah, I got C. diff. Mesalamine is a anti-inflammatory specifically for the intestinal tract. It doesn't do jack shit though. At least it didn't touch mine. I had to take really hardcore immunosuppressants, which then left me wide open for infection, which was great because I almost died of C. diff. I loved that. That was amazing. That was the closest I ever got to dying. That was when they had me on the Dilaudid PCA. Good stuff. That's been over 10 years, but I can't believe I got through that. Prednisone made me manic as well. Marina Karlova. I've heard of Sam Vaknin. I do know him. Is Marina Karlova like one of the sociopaths that talks about being a sociopath, Doug? C. diff is Clostridium difficile. It is one of the most deadly colorectal infections that one can receive. And it typically is found in hospital environments and nursing home environments. The most vulnerable people are premature babies and elderly people over the age of 70. And typically what happens is you go on a round of antibiotics for another infection, and it wipes out the good bacteria in your gut. And while you're immunocompromised like me, who had my entire immune system turned off after a another, like I had a mild pneumonia. So I had to go on like, I don't know what, I was on like bronchitis pills and shit. Shut down my whole system, killed all the good bacteria. And then C. diff. It was like, when I tell you how bad it smelled, you wouldn't believe me. I've smelled dead bodies before that smell better. C. diff is a really bad smell. It smells like a corpse that's been lying in the sun for a very long time. Shelby talks a lot about this in her 3-hour live. Yeah, I don't remember all the stuff I've talked about. I was on like enemas twice a day. I remember that, Rainbow, and I had a hard time keeping them in. Tor the Terra, it's taken a long time. Remember, this happened 10 years ago. I didn't speak about it for 10 years. Did my mom make me feel embarrassed? Well, I think I was kind of still in my adolescent phase. I was a teenager when I got diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. So that being said, as a teenager, I was super embarrassed that I had ass problems and my mom was super involved in my life. It was super embarrassing. I thought this was going to be a thing where I went to the doctor, took pills, got better, and went home, and then life commenced as usual. It took me like 5 years of going through this to realize that my life was ruined. I had to go through a legit grieving process. Denial lasted a long time for me. My doctor had to repeatedly tell me, Shelby, you have to come to terms with your life now as a chronic pain and illness patient. I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, what does that mean? When you've only been in it for a couple months, you don't understand what that means. Like, you mean this pain, this level of fatigue, this is the new normal? I couldn't accept that. And I went on a sabbatical to try to fix it, but it didn't work. So anyway, it's all good because I feel like a lot of people have it worse than me. But when you're in it, because there was not really you guys have to remember that I got diagnosed back in like 2012, and there wasn't a community of people talking about their chronic illnesses. There wasn't chronic illness talk back then. So it was doubly isolating. There was no internet community at all. There was nothing. And all of the chronic health and inflammatory bowel disease and ostomy support groups, everybody there was 65 years and older. I was always the youngest one in those support groups. I could not find a single peer within my community, and we looked, that had the same thing that I did. It wasn't until the pandemic, when people really got home and started talking about their problems on the internet, when it kind of took off as a community. And then I was like, oh, I could really share my story. I kind of wish I had documented it better in the moment. But yeah. She's someone who gives philosophical critiques to the system. Okay. I might like to look in her. What's her name again, Doug? Can you tell me her name again, Doug? The thing is, I would have to go back and reread all my diaries because I've compartmentalized most of it. You guys want me to read my diaries on a stream sometime? I could do that. Okay, and then when I find my chronic illness videos and pictures, I'll probably put them in a short. Okay, Raymond needs to chill. Raymond, stop standing me, please. I don't know how good I would be in a hospital environment because of the hierarchy. I might be able to like be a peer support mentor through a hospital, but I don't want to like actually work with people, in a hospital environment, maybe after, to connect with people. But it's crazy that I went from not being able to lift my head off a pillow and needing help getting in and out of bed because I was so emaciated and weak to thinking about doing powerlifting. I never thought I would get there. But I haven't even started it yet. My mom's super hesitant. She's like, that's going to overexert you. I'm like, I would be careful. Docs are like cops. Docs are like cops, especially psych docs. Can't trust them. Diary and pictures. Okay, I'm gonna ask my mom to send them to me. And I'm gonna go through my Facebook as well. I'm currently scrolling through my Facebook to see like the most crazy picture of me. Oh yeah. I have a post-op pic. Look how cool my life was before I got sick. Holy shit. Traveling, seeing the world. I got to go to like 3 different countries before this. Thank God. Had weight on my ass. I had a butt. Missed that. Okay. Let's see. Oh, bless me. Here's a picture of me at 16 or 17 all dressed up. It's like the last time I got dressed up. No, you guys can't even see what I'm looking at though. Oh my God, I look so baby. Look at me. Gotta put that on my desktop. My desktop is about as cluttered as my actual room is. Live in your pajamas. I look so young. God, I look like a kid. The thing about it is that when I was 18, which is when I got diagnosed, I literally looked like I was 12. I would have to show you my 18-year-old pics. It's all of me getting so sick. That profile picture is from 2016, so it's 10 years old now. I should probably get a new one, right? I just didn't really have any other ones. How do I send? I wish I could send a picture, but I can't. I guess I could probably become active on my Discord for the first time in my fucking life. I still work there at the grocery store. How do I show the pics? Before and after sickness would be cool. I could do like a transformation journey. What do you guys think? Why did you say in a recent video you do not want to stay with a guy if he was ill or sick? Well, here's the thing. That's not what I meant. So let me reiterate on that. That's not what I meant. I meant that I can understand why someone would leave someone that's sick. Like if I was with someone, I would understand if they wanted to leave. Because you didn't really sign up for a caretaker thing, and being a caretaker is fucking heavy. Okay? And there's no end in sight when it comes to being a caretaker. And like I was 18 when I got diagnosed. So like if I was with my high school sweetheart, I wouldn't want to stunt his life. So I would probably be okay with him like moving on because of this. And look where my life is stagnated, right? So it's not that I wouldn't be with someone. It's like I would understand if someone didn't want to be with me. And I feel like if I had never gotten sick and it was the role reversed, I probably would have left because I'm not a very compassionate person. Before all this happened, I sure as shit wasn't. That's what I meant. Hope that makes sense. I don't think my old YouTube channel videos are available ever because they were on a different hard drive and that hard drive is gone. Yeah, it's 10 years younger, to be honest, Thor. I had gone through a couple more cycles of flare ups after that, which really it drains your face. It leaves your face really hollow and tired looking when you lose weight and then gain it back, lose weight and then gain it back like multiple times. So I should probably make a new more I need to just do like a photo shoot. That's on my list. I'll do a video of like stuff before I got sick. It depends on the autoimmune disease. I had good days and bad days where I could walk and hike and stuff like that, and then other days where I was bedridden. Am I not scared of becoming the caretaker for my parents? No, they have a long-term care fund. They are kept. There's no need for me to worry about that. They have plans on what to do. They're going to be in home care until they can't be in home care anymore, and then they're likely going to go to a skilled facility. But they can afford a nice one, so it's no worries. I did something so similar, Rainbow, where I got rid of a lot of my old diaries because I was thinking of unaliving myself and deleted a lot of pictures and art and everything. I took care of my mom after my dad died and through her struggle and battle with cancer. Wow, you're a bigger person than me, Rainbow. That's weird. What is he even reacting to? I'm just sitting here. He has no life. My hair used to be so much fluffier before I got sick and it makes me really sad. Trying to figure out. My hair is on fleek in this 2017 hospital photo. Yikes. All right, everyone, posture and hydration check. Maybe. I'm definitely thirsty. I've done sauna sessions. I've done a lot of holistic healing stuff, but I just can't really afford it right now. I know he's, hey, Raymond. Hey, fam. What's good? We're talking about life. I know you're so obsessed with me. You can't get enough of me. Like, I haven't even been active for like a month. Right back to where he started. I'm not giving him any power. I think it's funny that he is such a creep, because it's funny because I have people like him. I've had people like him before in my life, online and in person. It's like I always have to have one of these types of people in my life. Thank you, Candy. I'm glad you see that. The thing is that you're going to be targeted no matter what, Rainbow. And if you want to wear a mask, I recommend it. I wish I could redo this and probably use an alias and a mask from day one, but it probably wouldn't have been as successful. I just didn't think anyone would ever see this. That's why I didn't care. I have a more recent photo. I can probably use that as my profile picture now. Do you want? Okay, so I could probably post like a community post on like my surgery pics. That'd probably be the best way to do it. Because some people are like, you were never sick in the first place. Okay. But like, okay, now I'm just like not even paying attention. to do that in a second. Don't post for the best. What do you mean? Oh, shoot. Maybe I don't know why the Discord's not really working. I'm not even active on that shit anyways. Yeah, Rainbow, I see that. If it's not, you would be putting yourself up for bullying. Discord is under fire. Oh, shoot. What's an alternative for Discord? Yeah, I feel the same way, Rainbow. Like, the internet is my social hour. This is it. Like, I don't really know who else I'm supposed to talk to. I'm not telepathic, trust me. Oh, God. We could do a live style video chat. That'd be cool. There's a couple people I want to collab with, but I don't know if they want to collab with me. Most of them are women. I wouldn't want to collaborate with another man, I have to be honest. Yeah, well, you already got a support system, Rainbow. You could start by making them private and posting them here if you wanted. What if you just started doing it and posting them and privating them or not listing them? And then you could share them with like select people. I don't toke, Spiral. Thank you, Roger. Drugs are bad, okay? And I don't care what anyone says, marijuana is a real hard drug. People like just think that marijuana is casual. No, it ruins your brain. Spiral, be careful out there. Comfy as heck. Rainbow, what if, yeah, like I said, like, what if you did what I said and then you could share it privately on like certain Reddits, but like members only Reddit so the general population couldn't see it or something? And like supportive Reddits, not like trash Reddits. And then if someone tried to like do a review video or something, I don't know. You wouldn't get a lot of backlash because your channel is mostly private. Thank you, Aiden Pierce. We have a lot in common. Feel free to share. 1999. So you're a Gen Z millennial cusper. I was a 93-er, late baby millennial, last of my kind, last of my name. My gosh. We could all subscribe to Rainbow right now. Everybody, preemptively subscribe to Rainbow. Click her name and click go to channel and press subscribe. I can't believe I didn't do that yet. So that Rainbow already has supported people ready to go if she decides to post. Oh, you're born in Gen Z, 1998. Okay. My sister was 96, so she's a last born millennial. I should have subscribed. I haven't been subscribing to freaking anybody on this channel. I don't know why not. Rainbow, you just got like 6 more subscribers in like the last 5 seconds. You could totally do like, oh, you know what, Rainbow, you could do is just have gameplay footage in the background and just talk over it. You wouldn't have to show your face or anything because you like to game. And just have gameplay footage of your favorite games in the background and just talk while playing the game, and then you can also comment on the game too. You wouldn't even have to show your face. Kind of like what Loser Maxing does. I know he hates me though, but that style of video would work really well. Oh, thank you, Willie. Animal Crossing videos would be so fun, and like mental health era videos. Face reveal members only. Once you get monetized, which you will. Yo, that would be so fun. I haven't played Mario Party or Mario Kart in such a long time. Oh my god, that would be so fun. Yo, that would be so fun. I don't have either one of those because I just actually sold Mario Kart, but I could always buy another one. Yo, Mario Party would be lit. We could totally do a Mario Party. Poketopia is like a combo from what I hear of Minecraft, Animal Crossing, and Pokemon. Yeah, weed just gives me major paranoia. I've never played Minecraft for real. There's been so many years since the last Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. I need to update the Discord link. I just need to be on Discord in general, for Christ's sake. Elder millennial. I'm a young millennial. All right, guys. I think I'm going to wrap it up. I've been on here for like 3 hours. That went by fast, but it was good to catch up, everybody. It was good to see you. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. If you haven't already liked this stream, it's free. I haven't even given one hoot. We can all brainstorm. We should all like create a community of YouTubers together. That'd be so fun. We could all like create YouTube and like support each other's channels and be like a whole like alliance on YouTube over here. I totally believe in it. But yeah, that extra $100 or so a month, or a couple $100 or so a month I get from YouTube is really good. I made a lot of money in October, but that was like a one-off. I never made that much again or even close. I think somebody donated like $200 from a super chat or something, which was too much money, which is probably why half of it was that way. And YouTube decided to favor me in October for some reason. All right, I gotta go. My mom's coming. I'm going. Okay, I'm coming. All right, guys. It was good talking to you. We'll have to talk about our alliance later. See you later. Peace out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.